Hello and welcome to Mommy Consults. I am Michelle Kay. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and mommy wellness coach. I do therapy based in Florida, and this is a space that is really for superhero working moms to put your wellness needs first and step into your parenting power. Now, today we're going to talk about EMDR. Maybe you're coming in here because your therapist told you about EMDR. Maybe a friend talked about like how well EMDR worked for them. And so we are going to talk about the top 3 benefits of EMDR. Well, EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. I know that is a very long wording of everything, but EMDR essentially is a technique. It is a way that it's a process for psychotherapy where your therapist is more than likely trained or certified in EMDR. So they have to go through a long training process. I had to do that because I am trained in EMDR and I'm also in the process of being certified. So you have to not only go through learning it, but you also have to continuously have training in EMDR. Now we're going to share the top 3 benefits of EMDR. The first is that it's really going to help you with trauma. Now, when I talk about trauma with my clients, a lot of times they're usually kind of saying things like, well, I haven't experienced, a sexual assault, for example, or I haven't experienced, someone like hitting me, like a family member. Somehow we tend to think that trauma is really only something that might be like bigger, like long term, something that happened over and over in childhood. But trauma essentially are difficult experiences that you might have had in life, and it creates some sort of an impact on you. And so EMDR is going to work through these difficult experiences by tapping into your brain's information processing system. Now, people don't realize, but when we go through trauma, it's essentially like keeping a score within your body. So you're experiencing an emotion because we all experience emotions as humans. And your brain is kind of in your body, it's like keeping a score. It's kind of saying, hey, whatever emotions I'm experiencing, that's going into your body. It's also processing within your brain. Your brain is also kind of creating like a story of what is happening. Now, the thing that often happens is that we not only have maybe that childhood memory, but we're also having other memories and situations after that that are actually sometimes similar to that original memory. And so your brain is processing these things over and over again. And so through what we call bilateral stimulation, which is, it could be tapping, it could be like kind of a finger, like moving back and forth. It could be a ball. I've heard like sounds. This bilateral stimulation is going to help your brain kind of reprocess this memory, but in maybe a different way. Now, your therapist is going to be trained in the process. And so your therapist is essentially guiding you through this. Now, I have seen some amazing work where trauma is really now kind of changed and processed in a different way. Your emotions, you're able to move through it like quicker, easier, and also you are able to kind of understand the emotions that you've experienced. It's giving you the opportunity to do that. So that's your first benefit. It's really going to help you move through trauma and some difficult experiences in your life. The second one, which I started talking about, was like the speed and efficiency. EMDR is a great, quick, easy process. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy. Sometimes it is difficult. I do equate it sometimes as like your trainer, wants you to come in and do a workout. You're not going to love it, but you are going to see some really immediate effects with that trainer. And essentially, that's what EMDR is going to do. It's going to give you a really great environment where you're going to move through these trauma experiences move through your emotions more like efficiently. So I don't know if you've ever experienced where you are, with, maybe you're like watching a movie and suddenly you're watching this movie and you find that you're always like crying at these particular moments in a movie. You don't understand why. Or you're having conflicts with a friend and somehow you like keep like being more emotional, having like a more of an emotional outburst and you don't know why, and you go through therapy, you do like talk therapy with your therapist, you've been doing it for a while, and you're like, I don't understand why I'm not getting through this. EMDR would be the perfect modality for you to use because you might need to move through those like traumatic experiences, those past experiences faster. And so you could still have your normal therapist and also have an EMDR therapist. Maybe they might be with you for maybe like 8 sessions or so, and then you'll be able to quickly move through whatever that situation is. So that is the second benefit. The speed and efficiency of EMDR that I have seen over the years is just, it's like mind blowing. Once I was trained in it, I'm like, and I saw the benefits, I was amazed by how fast people are moving through their trauma and through their emotions. The third benefit is its adaptability. It can be used with different populations. It's not only with trauma, but also can be used with anxiety, phobias. For our mamas out there, a lot of times we have this hypervigilance that comes. Say your child maybe like falls down or your child starts crying, and all of a sudden you're having this really big emotional reaction. You want to make sure they're okay, you want to make sure everything is fine, and we don't realize that a lot of times that is probably because we have experienced some trauma within our own selves, and we've also experienced things within our family. And so don't you want to move through that? And so if you want to move through that, that's also going to help you, and also is going to help your parenting. So it's adaptable where it can be used with moms. It can be used with, as I said, if you have any phobias, and that hypervigilance as well. It can also be used with children too. So I've seen some amazing work where EMDR is mixed in with drawings, and that child can process like a trauma or an event, something has happened to them, and they're able to move past it within like 1 or 2 sessions. I've seen it being used in groups, which is something that I do with my groups, is really moving through like moms working together to try to move through some intergenerational trauma and do that together. So that is another way and another modality that you could use in order to move past some of the difficult trauma or emotions that you're experiencing. So these are the top 3 ways that EMDR create great benefits. So moving through your trauma, it's going to be like efficient, and it's also going to be adaptable. So if for some reason you're like, wow, I want more information or I want to hear more, you can click the link below. I have a link to my group and other resources that may help you move through a lot of the difficult experiences that you have had. I've also had a link to the Emdria website, which gives more information about EMDR. If you've had any experiences with EMDR, please post it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, thanks for listening. Take care.